Good Monday morning, everyone. If you are here in Texas, I hope all of you guys are staying warm. We are not built for like 20-degree weather or ice, so I hope you guys are all staying warm. You guys listening to Author Talk with me, Russell, or me, Amy. I'm here with Russell, and our lovely author guest today is Jim Gregory. I could be Russell. We are very similar in that sense. Valerie had a last minute weather leak going on in her house, so hopefully she can get that fixed and addressed it quickly. But let's talk about our weekend. So you guys, my weekend, I'm not even going to lie to you. If you haven't already kind of noticed, my weekend was pretty draggy. So I actually on, what is today? Monday. So I went Saturday morning. I have been battling being sick. I thought it was allergies and a cold for a little over a week. I finally went to urgent care on Saturday. And I'm currently getting over pneumonia, so I'm working on getting all of my energy.
Are you kidding? You let yourself get sick enough until you got pneumonia before you went to the doctor.
Anyways.
Oh, you're kidding me, right?
Anyways. So
I thought Amy was smart, Jim. I thought she was smart. I was wrong.
So my weekend was full of movies. I tried to go outside because my dogs won't go in the grass because of the ice. I had a whole thing. I was going to put a tarp down, but I kind of ran out of energy. And so I tried to go
Your
outside.
dogs are so spoiled. They won't go outside if there's ice. Are you kidding me?
Anyways, Russell's coming in hard this Monday morning. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, I tried to go outside because my kids were enjoying the ice and I wanted to, and that was just not a good idea. I think I made it like 5 minutes. So if I'm muted a lot today, you guys.
Went outside in the ice with pneumonia, Jim.
Anyways.
This girl's IQ is dropping all weekend.
It's not dropping. It's from the lack of oxygen that I was getting before I went to the urgent care. My oxygen was kind of low, okay? Anyways, but
Brain damage.
Josh got to take photos of the kids. So we have a trampoline in our backyard that had ice all over it, and the kids got to jump and kind of break it up.
Yeah, another one of their great brilliant mistakes.
He has a video of it, so I got to still kind of enjoy it. But it was just like a low-key, movie watching, trying to survive the weekend kind of thing.
Doing stupid shit.
I am on the mend.
Good God.
On day 3. I'm on day 3 of my medication, you guys. I'm going to survive. I'm getting there. My oxygen is back up, okay? It's no longer at 94.
You know, Zach can't find another wife when he has 15 kids.
Hey, my oxygen wasn't even that bad. It dropped down to 94. It's back up to 97. So I'm getting better. Anyways, I'm not wanting to go to the doctor, you guys.
You're not living on the moon, worrying about how much oxygen you have. It's something way down the line of stupid.
Anyway,
just saying.
I am very
Jim, quit being so quiet, or I'm going to have to come after you.
It's okay. It's pretty hard.
I'm having some mercy on Amy.
Yeah.
I think you're being pretty hard on her.
I'm just that kind of guy.
I've heard. I remember you from the last time.
He definitely is, but it's all in good fun. I can take it. I know he means it with love, but it's one of those things like Russell. I'm kind of like Russell. He just won't admit it, but
we're the exact same type of people.
I know. I started off thinking it was allergies.
Difference.
Yeah, I started off thinking it was allergies, and then it turned into like a cold.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't, and then I just woke up and I couldn't breathe. So and then I had to go in, but I probably went in 4 days later than I should have. I was having lung pain and stuff. But anyways, other than that, you guys, Texas got ice. North Texas got a ton of snow. We're supposed to have more cold weather. So, everyone needs to come get their weather back because we're usually sitting at 85. It's really nice here. And it's 23 outside with a wind chill of 8 or something. So if you guys want to come get your weather back, more than happy you can take it for sure.
I'm in Florida and it's about 70 degrees here. It's a little chilly.
Well, see, yeah, I would take that over what we currently have outside. But yeah, so everyone up north needs to come. Mickey in Canada needs to come get his weather back because it's made it too far down. It's gotten confused and he needs to come take it back. But what all did you guys do this weekend? I hope it was more fun than just watching movies, struggling to breathe. So what all did you guys do this weekend?
Well, yesterday, the 25th, was Sir Robert Burns' birthday, and he was born in 1759. And I was supposed to be at a celebration of his birthday wearing my kilt and eating haggis, but it was canceled because of the weather in Williamsburg, Virginia. So that was disappointing.
Wait, where do you live, Jim?
Well, I live in Bradenton, Florida, but I've had a vacation house in Williamsburg, Virginia for a long time and belong to the St. Andrew Society of Williamsburg. But anyway, have you ever had haggis?
Yes, it's grotesque, but the Burns parties are always fun.
It gives me an excuse to wear my kilt and
haggis. You shouldn't be wearing that kilt.
Of heart, lungs, in a sheep's stomach. And it sounds pretty gross, and it is, Russell, I'll give you that. But if you have it the right way, which is with Scotch, it's much more palatable, much better. The other thing I did was I worked on the company that purchased my company 10 years ago asked me to write the 50th year anniversary overview of the company and how it evolved over time. And I went into my archives, which I have a pretty good archives of photographs and sample projects that I did years ago. And unfortunately, in Florida, it gets really, really hot in the garage, and all of my photographs.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Melted and stuck together. So that was my weekend project instead of going to the Burns birthday. And anyway, that's my woe.
That's a pretty good project, though. That was a nice thing for the company to ask you to do to write that, I think, because you got to pull back all your memories. And it's a shame. I hope you were able to preserve some of the good pictures.
Yes, we have enough that there are some good things, but what a hoot to look back 50 years and see a younger version of yourself, all full of energy and pursuing a goal, and it was just neat, just a neat experience doing that.
So I had the opposite weekend of Amy. I had this spectacular weekend of going out and a big family party. But what I want to talk about is something my wife insisted that we start going into a sauna 4 times a week for 20 minutes at a time.
Ooh, that's really good for you. Are you going to cold plunge afterwards and then go back?
Actually thought of you because you're a code plunger.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, she's this insane code plunger that it's actually really good for you, but you have to be insane to do it. I actually thought about that. The club, I didn't have the courage, and I was under too much of my wife's supervision to try it this weekend, this week when I'm doing it alone. But I got to tell you, if for the listeners, I've never been a sauna guy. I've always thought that was a little bit extravagant or strange. But after spending 2 days this weekend, spending 20 minutes at a time of the sauna, and then about an hour after you've been out and recuperated, all of a sudden I have way more energy.
Is it a dry sauna or like a wet sauna?
It's a dry sauna.
Oh,
and I gotta tell you, it was like a B12 shot.
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
days. So I think this is something I can get addicted to. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Josh
And
goes when he's not feeling good. Josh will go sit in there, and we
yeah,
just like sweat everything out. And he usually feels better within like a day or two.
so and I'm recommending to the listeners, you might consider spending 3 or 4 days, 20 minutes at a time in a sauna because it is supposed to have incredible health benefits. And it was like a B12 shot
Yeah.
starting about an hour after I got out every
Bring
day.
water. Bring water though, so you don't like leave like a prune. You need to
Oh,
bring
I got to tell
water.
you, it's dear. It's like running. I'm a runner. Jim, are you a runner? You're a pretty thin looking guy.
I'm a biker. I bicycle.
Okay.
Oh,
What
okay.
are you a road biker?
Pretty, yeah. Well, pretty much for
What kind
exercise.
of bike do you have?
A trek.
Okay, that's a great
Nice.
bike. I got my wife one of those. I have a light speed. It's 100% titanium. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
Wow.
But it's like running. I hate running, but I love the effect of running. Sauna, that 20 minutes is like torture. But now that I see what it does to me and how it makes me feel starting about an hour afterwards, this is something I think I can get addicted to. And so if you're listening, you've never tried it, you have access to a sauna, you might consider it.
Now you
So
just
I'm
now you
just,
just need to do 20 minutes in the sauna, go do 5 minutes in a cold plunge, and then go back to your sauna and then end it.
uh, well, we'll see.
You
That's,
can do it.
um, I need to thank our listeners. We're top 1% on one of the podcast channels and top 10% on some of the others. We've been around for 10 years and we are very humbled that people listen to us. For a long time, I'm low tech, I can't find things, and I couldn't find our podcast. Amy did some changes, and then even I can find us. Amy, where can people find us?
You guys, you can find us anywhere that you listen to a podcast. My go to is Amazon or Spotify. I'm an Android user, so Google Play. If you're an Apple, iTunes. You can watch us over on YouTube and watch Russell give me a real hard time about being sick if you want to
It
watch
was
that.
today, wasn't it? I was hard
It's
on
all
you today
good.
because you did
It's
some
a
stupid shit.
it's a good Monday morning, you guys. But you can watch us over on our YouTube channel, any one of our social media channels. We do have a Facebook group that you can engage, leave questions and comments. We love engaging with you guys. And it's always fun for me, Russell. I don't know if you know this. It's always fun for me. So I don't go and check our YouTube stats very often. Like I've mentioned several times, Russell wanted to start this. We just do this for fun. We like getting together and enjoying conversations with authors. So every time that I go over onto our YouTube channel and like check our numbers, we've always gained like 200 or 300, and I check it probably twice a month. So it's always just fun to see that. It's a fun little thing for me. So I always enjoy it. So thank you guys for listening to us, hanging out with us. We are now in our 10th year, you guys. This is a big year for us. So if you want to see how we started down in Houston recording, me flipping the camera around to where we are today, YouTube channel is going to be your best bet to go on over there. But we are joined today by Dr. Jim Gregory, who has a new book out called Ghost Town. It came out on the 13th. So Jim, tell us a little bit about this book.
Well, this book was actually inspired by something that I did with my father. We when I was about 10 years old, we would go out and in his pickup truck and pick up a load of coal to heat our home for the winter. And when we brought the load of coal back, we would shovel it into the basement. And that was our routine. We'd have to do that every couple of weeks to maintain the amount of coal necessary to keep the house warm. Well, one day we went to a new place, and it was a new coal mine, not a brand new coal mine, but it was new to us. And when we got there, we walked up to the coal mine entrance, and this young boy who was my age, 10 years old, comes walking out of the mine. And he was covered in coal dust, and his eyes were the only thing that showed up on his face. It was so weird. I couldn't even believe it. And he was the son of the owner of the coal mine. So he was telling us what to do. And as his father was working on the bringing the coal to the tipple where they dumped it into the truck, he was telling us where to stand and what to do. It was amazing. It was such a weird experience to see this. But the even more weird part was that he asked me to go into the coal mine. He said, "Would you like to go in?" I turned to my dad and I said, I'm not so sure I want to do this. And he said, "Yeah, go ahead, go in. Not too far, but go ahead." So this young boy, his name was Murph, and I walked into the coal mine, and I could hear the rumbling of the coal car, of his father pushing the coal car out toward the tipple. And it reverberated in this coal mine, and it just scared the hell out of me. I came running out of the coal mine, absolutely petrified, sure that it was going to fall. And all I can remember is hearing Murph's laugh. He laughed, and his laugh reverberated in the coal mine. So I became the laughing stock of that particular moment. But that stuck in my mind. That idea stuck in my mind, that this young boy grew up as part of this family of coal miners, and he lived there. He lived by the coal mine, and so that's always stuck in my mind. And so I wrote a story called Ghost Town. And Ghost Town is about a young Sammy Murphy, who was the firstborn child in this town called Sulphur Creek. And it's his life story. It's told, the story is told on his deathbed. And he tells the whole story of how he grew up. He was the only child in this town. And he was expected to work in the coal mine very early. When he was 10 years old, he was running messages in and out of the coal mine and helping the coal miners with their getting tools and things of that nature. Well, so he's the protagonist in the story, and tells his story. The antagonist is the guy who owned the coal mine. Now, this is a guy by the name of Barry Bacon, and he grew up on Fifth Avenue in New York, and he rubbed shoulders with Andrew Carnegie's and the Fricks, and led a privileged life. And he wanted to be as important as they were, as successful as they were. And so he thought the way to do that would be to build an empire around coal. Coal was very much in demand at that time. This is the 1800s, late 1800s. It was really the heart of the American Industrial Revolution. And so he was so focused on building this mine and becoming a privileged character that he ignored good advice from both his workers and from engineers that had worked there. And he didn't do the things that were necessary to protect the miners or the city that he was building. As a result, there was a terrible incident. I won't go into detail on that, but it really impacted the future of the coal mine and the town, and people leaving the town, and it became literally a ghost town. Well, Barry Bacon ends up in another city called Shawnstown, which is a not well disguised version of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which was where the South Fork Dam broke and killed 2,000 people back in 1889. Well, this is a historic novel, so I'm using that incident as the primary incident in the book, but the facts are purely fictitious. I mean, the factuals, as I portray the facts in the story, they are not facts at all, but made up for the novel. Anyway, so this is the story, and this guy who was so popular and so special, Barry Bacon, and so wealthy, ends up just being poor as a mouse and having nothing at all. And the protagonist, Sammy, lives a full and good, solid life. So it's a very interesting of the haves and the have-nots, and how it changed over time. And it's getting good reviews. I'm very happy to say that the books I've written. This is my third novel in 3 years.
Oh wow!
And I'm very happy to say that I'm developing a following of readers, as well as press people who are covering, doing reviews of the book and that sort of thing. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love to hear that, because 3 books in 3 years is quite an accomplishment. So you should feel very accomplished. But to just watch the excitement of like you're getting followers and they're loyal followers and they're engaging with you, like that's just exciting part of the excitement about being an author. So I would love to know, because you also wrote the book Killer App, and now you have Ghost Town out. So is there any like correlation between the two, or is this a completely different direction for you? Is this something that you see yourself kind of continuing in the direction of Ghost Town, or what's that like for you?
That's a good question. My first book was called Zephyr's War.
Okay.
And Zephyr's War is about the prelude to the war in Ukraine. And I spent some time in Kiev giving talks to the various marketing organizations there, and there were people from all over Europe when I gave these talks, and there were Russians in the audience, and I could see immediately that the Russians and the Ukrainians did not get along. They were arguing all the time, right in front of us. It was very peculiar, and so I started writing that book before the war took place. And so it was like a prelude to the war. So it's a Ukrainian capitalist versus the Russian mafia.
Jim, which war? The invasion of 2014, or the invasion that's the war right now?
The invasion, the war now. So, and so it's not a prediction of that's going to happen. It is a novel. It's just using those sort of things that I experienced as a kickoff point. So that's what that book's about. It's also a strong protagonist, and the antagonist is the entire Russian mafia. So it's a heated book. It's fast, and there's bloodshed and all of that sort of thing. So it's a thriller. And Killer App was focused on the artificial intelligence and all the problems that could happen with artificial intelligence. And
I remember that's the book that we interviewed you about, isn't it?
That's correct.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
By the way, people can go to YouTube on our channel and find that show if they want to see it.
I actually did that myself to remember what we talked about, and that's right. We had a great conversation about that, and it's very interesting. Artificial intelligence is it's everywhere now, and it's growing so fast that it's hard to keep up with the changes.
Exactly. How often do you use AI as of now, Jim?
Constantly.
Yes. Amy, how often do you use AI?
I mean, I use it periodically. My husband uses it every day, all friggin' day. I use it maybe like once or twice a day if I'm really stuck in something.
Right.
But he's more embraced it, I guess, into a sense.
That you use it 1 or twice a day, and
Yeah.
you don't describe that as completely embracing makes Jim's point. That it's in everything. Right, Jim?
It is. It really is. And, there's so many different platforms, the ChatGPT, Claude, Google has Gemini, Perplexity. Do you use Perplexity?
No, I use an up form of ChatGPT.
Okay. And Microsoft has Copilot, but all of those things are just for beginners. I mean, those are,
Right.
and the next level is just remarkable. And it's just, it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous, and it's going to be, it's with us forever. You know, it's just, like the electricity, you know, when they discovered electricity, there was no turning back. That was the new way of lighting your home and the world, and it's just like that. It's just everywhere.
Anyway, go on about the next book and how it's connected.
So that was I was talking about Killer App, and then Ghost Town, which I already talked about. I have another book in the works, which will come out roughly so it'll be 4 books in 4 years, and it's called Undercurrent. And this is the first time. So each one of these are independent books. They stand on their own. They're not a series of books. But Undercurrent is the first time I'm trying to delve into politics, lightly into politics. I really don't like talking about politics, and I don't like the heated discussions around it. But I think what's going on right now with regard to the illegal aliens and the so-called illegal aliens and the ICE issue and all of those sort of things are worthy of an exploration on a fiction basis. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying not to get the world to hate me in this book. And I think I'm achieving it. I've got my 4th draft is now finished. And I think I've done it. And it just talks about the issues. We have such a great country, and we let stuff like this come between us. It's just an awful situation, and we're better than this, I think. And so this brings up the question. It's about an uprising, about a insurgency from the illegal aliens' point of view.
So, Jim, you said you're on your 4th draft. How many drafts do you go through before you give it to an editor?
Well, every draft goes to the editor.
So your first draft went to an editor?
Yes.
Do you give it to your editor before you finish the first draft?
No, when I finish the first draft, I give it to the editor. We look at the big things that need to be corrected. We need to see if it's a viable concept. I write pretty fast, and if it's a viable concept, then she will respond to me, and we'll start to smooth it out. It's a little bit like creating a sculpture. It's like you got to take the big chunks away first, and then start to work in on it.
Nice.
So, go ahead, Amy.
No, you can go.
So I wanted to know, how do your listeners? You said you're starting to get a following. How do you notice that? How's that become part of your awareness?
Well, I have a website, and they'll visit the website and make comments. I'll get emails from them. I try to make my name pretty much available for them if they want to communicate with me. They don't hold back. I find, I don't know what, you're both authors. Do you find that do you get criticism for your work?
What? Yes, I do. And I do have a question, Jim. What is the worst criticism anyone ever, a reader ever sent you? I said the one that I have still burns in my mind. What's the worst one you ever got?
I've got one that burns in my mind. I used to write business books. I wrote maybe 6 business books over my career. And I was very, very proudly presented my first book to my best client. And she said, she said over the weekend she read it, and I said, well, what did you think? And she said it was so dry it could dehumidify a room.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh,
You know,
that's
you don't-
creative, but man, that's
Yeah, you
that's
don't
rough.
forget that stuff when people tell you that.
That's
You don't forget
rough.
it.
That's rough. Well, talking about your, business writing, right? So it sounds like Ghost Town kind of deals with, a balance or the tension between ambition and consciousness, right? So did that kind of come from your business writing? Was Ghost Town like an expansion of that? Or is this just like a new kind of concept, not necessarily diving into the comment that you got on your business writing? But it sounds like, Ghost Town just deals with tension between that, and your business writing also deals with that. So was Ghost Town like an expansion of that for you?
I don't think so. My business writing is an entirely different style of work. It's got to be factual. It's got to be relevant. It's got to be creative, but in a way that's important to the readers. And I built up a good reputation for what we call corporate branding. So everything that I was doing related to that concept of corporate branding, and we became really well known around the world for this concept, and so everything I did was geared to that, despite the fact that it was dry sometimes. The fiction is entirely different from my perspective. It's much more fun to write fiction. The guardrails are often, I can go in any direction. I can always pull back with the editor's encouragement or suggestions. And but what is interesting is the feedback that I get. Is it, am I getting positive feedback, negative feedback? I don't mind getting negative feedback, and I will adjust accordingly. But it's fascinating stuff. I really enjoy writing. It's a hoot.
So what was the spark that ignited you to write from, business nonfiction to fiction, right? Because I'm just looking at your bio, right? You have extensive background in corporate. You built a New York-based advertising company. You've, focused primarily in nonfiction. You've been very successful in that. So what was that spark that's what, I want to dive into fiction, which I agree with you. Fiction, I feel like, is more fun. It's definitely, to me, more fun to read, really takes you, out of reality and stuff. So what was that kind of pivotal moment where you wanted to kind of give that a try?
Well, when I sold my business, and that was about 10 years ago, I sold the business, and I decided, I didn't like golf. I didn't like, I didn't want to do the things that most people do when they retire. I had traveled the world many times in business, and that just felt like business, work, to travel. So I decided to really refocus, and I went and did my doctoral work, not because I needed to or wanted to accomplish something more, but it was just something to do. It was an interesting endeavor to get a doctorate. By the way, I don't recommend that as a retirement project. But doing that, it made me realize how much I enjoyed research and researching ideas and having all the tools that we have now to look up things and to experiment. So I began to write. I wrote a memoir called Small Fortunes, which was about my wife and I and the business we started. And so this was a series of novellas that were put together in one book, Small Fortunes. And I had so much fun writing that I then, COVID happened. And so I wrote another book called Columbia the Street, which is about growing up in a small town of Western Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and with 5 siblings and all the trouble we got into. And this book really, I got a lot of fan mail. I got a lot of people following me from that one. And then I decided let's keep this going, and that's when I started working on the novels. My ultimate goal is after Undercurrent, which is the next novel. After that,
Yeah.
I'm working on something, games we played as children. And that's designed to get my grandkids off of their computers and outside to play.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
I
And
have to ask a question. Tell me a little bit more about Columbia the Street. What provoked fan mail? I mean,
well, all the fun things that we did as kids. I was describing
yeah,
things.
but how did it touch a nerve into? It says like 90 years ago. We're the same age. So, what was it that touched uh, the fans that made them want to reach out to you? What was it in the book that did that?
It was telling all the stories of that we did as kids. That was the beginning of the rocket age, the age where we started to try to explore the moon and that sort of thing. And we all built rockets as kids. We had hundreds of rockets that we would build out of matchsticks and gunpowder that we would take bullets apart and put gunpowder in it for the fuel of the rockets. And then we got burned. My brother was rushed to the hospital with a burn on his hand from doing that. And would get letters from people saying, "Oh my God, you described something that exactly happened the way it happened in our family." The various, working with my dad to help change the oil in the truck. Who does that now? It was just a neat thing, where I'm learning something and having a great time with my dad. And we raised rabbits. Terrible pet to have as a young kid, but we had hundreds of rabbits. And
Why is that a terrible pet?
I
because
love them.
yeah, they're beautiful, little white Angora rabbits, soft,
Yeah.
fluffy, but they don't listen to you. They don't come. And they multiply. They multiply
Oh, yeah.
by the hundred, and so that wasn't a good pet. But I had a dog. We had, so all the little things. Soapbox derby. We made little cars that we would race down Columbia Street. I had such a love for the street that I thought Columbia the Street I thought Columbia University was named after Columbia the Street, and Columbia as well as Columbia the Country. I thought they were named after our street. So, oh, hello.
Sometimes we get some of the best parts of our show from these scenes.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
She waited till almost the end, Amy. She just couldn't wait any longer.
I know, and it's funny because I reorganized my office, Jim, and so my oldest daughter will stand at my door and talk to me. So I just have to undo one headphone. My youngest is like, "Screw that! I'm going up to mom. I'm gonna make mom talk to me." So yeah, so she didn't even wait. She just was coming to tell me something that her sister did. So they're out of school because of the ice today. So it's a fun day. It's a fun day that we're going to survive.
I even took my dog to daycare today.
Oh, no.
So she could run and I didn't have to worry about it because of our show.
Oh, well, no. I mean, we still have ice everywhere. We have like at least half an inch of ice everywhere currently.
And you're in Austin, right?
I'm in Bryan College Station. So I'm an hour and a half north of Houston. So we got hit not as hard as Austin, but harder than Houston did. We got a lot more, I guess, than they did. But again, us Texans aren't built for this kind of weather. Like everyone makes fun of us. We make fun of ourselves that we're not built for this, but like we're built for 115 degree weather. We're fine. Like that's our jam. So yeah, everyone panic buys and does all this stuff. I just avoided all of that is what I
I
avoided.
know. Panic buying is a comedy. Jim, people, I remember I lived in Atlanta the last 3 years. It would whenever the weather would get below 30 degrees, you would see the grocery stores emptied. Sometimes I would go to the grocery store just to watch how silly people could
I did
be.
that. Oh my gosh. See,
Did you do it?
I did. I went to HEB and just walked the aisles at like 3 in the afternoon on Thursday, and like water was gone, like chicken stock was gone, milk was gone. And I'm over here like, well, I need bone broth because I need to make soup anyways, right? Because I'm currently dying. But it was just funny to see people that had like 2 carts just full of water. And you're like, dude, you can fill your bathtub up with water if you need to. Like, you don't have to go buy 2 carts full of water jugs. I mean, it's just humorous to me.
It is
So
so funny.
yeah, it was a crazy time.
It's so funny, Jim, that the last novel that I had published, I actually had wrote a scene about people behaving that way because it was so fun. I wanted to write about it too.
Wow.
You did.
So, Jim, I do have a final question for you, and that is, how can people find out more about you or reach out to you?
My website is jamesrgregory-books.com. The R is important in there, James R. Gregory. It's by the way, my R is Russell. So James Russell.
So that means that we may be related.
That's
That's actually a fact.
I like it. Well, I have one last question for all of you guys.
Yes, I am that good looking.
Oh, that wasn't my question. My question was, what are you guys currently reading? So, James, what are you currently reading?
Oh, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine.
Oh, what is that about?
That is a really, really great book. This is the first book by, can't think of her name, Gail Honeyman.
Okay.
First novel by her. And it is a book about people that that are slightly off. And it goes into this one person, Eleanor Oliphant, and it follows her life as to why she's off and what happened that caused it. And it peels back the onion layers over time and gets to the heart of what it was that caused her the problems. It is a real page burner. I love that book.
Nice.
And actually, you described that very well, Jim. I think that sounds like a great book to read.
Russell, what are you reading?
I'm still finishing the book about Rome, about the 3,000-year history of Rome. And it's a very detailed book. So there are chapters that I redo, and I'm still trying to finish that book.
Nice. Well, you guys know I love my app-based novels, and I read a lot of them. But I'm currently I got caught up in this novel, and I've read 160 scenes or chapters, but there's scenes.
Oh, yeah. Tell people in more detail how you do that.
Well, so the one that I'm currently reading is called Becoming Mrs. DeLuca. I didn't think I was going to like it, you guys. So it's like this lady, this girl, it's a big mafia family, and she ends up having to marry an underboss. And so it goes like this whole thing. She's like a shy, timid girl and all this. And then all of a sudden, I was kind of getting bored of it. And then it took a left turn where like she's lost her memory, lost 5 years of her life, all this stuff. And then her underboss husband finds her again. So it's like this whole thing, right? So anyways, James, I don't know if you know of these, but they're app-based novels. So you can read them on the computer. There's apps you can download. There's ones for just werewolves. There's ones for romance. There's ones for everything that you want to read. And I read a lot of them. This one's currently on Novel Bar is the one that it's on. But if you've ever been on Facebook and you're kind of skimming through a few reels or just going through your feed, you'll see an advertisement and it has like some weird photo or video, and it'll have like the caption, which is like the beginning of the story. It generally, though, you do have like, you end up having to pay for coins to open chapters, or you get a subscription, to read unlimited books. But they'll generally will have like between 5 to 10 chapters for free, and that's what they put in the copy to like hook you in, and then you're like, oh man, then I'm the sucker that ends up going and continues reading them. So that's currently where I'm at, but I'm on a hiatus because I'm caught up now and I have to wait for the next chapters to come out, which galls my soul. So I'm currently looking for new ones. But yeah, it's always kind of fun to hear what others are reading. My journeys into these app-based novels that fascinate Russell so much. So, but no, I think it's been a lot of fun. But Jim, it's always fantastic to have you. I can't wait to have you back for your next novel that comes out. 4 novels in 4 years. Man, that's just incredible. So keep it up. But you are always welcome back. But I want to thank you for taking time out of your morning to come and hang out with us. Let us get to know you and to talk to us about Ghost Town and all of your other works that you've done.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Russell. Great fun.
Oh, good. Absolutely. Well, you guys, we hope everyone has a safe and fun Monday, a great rest of your week. Hopefully next Monday I won't be hammered too hard by Russell. I'll be feeling better for sure. But until next time, bye for now, everybody.